As most people know, there have been many attempts to try and recreate Crumbl cookies' most famous cookies, but the most popular one that people have tried to recreate was their cinnamon crumble cookies. In today's presentation, I will tell you the ingredients to make the dough. I'll tell you how to make the cinnamon sugar topping, and then finally how to make the frosting and defrost the cookies. Now, going on to how to make the dough, we'll gather all of our ingredients first. And most common when making baked goods, you separate the dry ingredients from the wet ingredients, so then when combining, they don't get mixed wrong way, and so then your cookies will taste better. um, for our dough base, we will start off with flour, sugar, baking soda, baking powder, salt, and cinnamon. And once we combine all of those into a bowl, it's most commonly to whisk them together so then they're all so then they're all combined. Now for the wet ingredients, we start off with butter, eggs, and vanilla. But we put all of those into our mixer and make sure they're mixed into a nice consistency. Once they're mixed into that consistency, we add all the dry ingredients to get our nice dough. The dough consistency will stick together just like this one and will not stick to your fingers if you touch it. Now, once we get our dough together, we form it into little balls and flatten them onto our baking sheet and put them in the oven at 350 for about 8 to 10 minutes. We don't want the bottom to get too burnt, and we want them to be nice chewy consistency. Now moving on to the brown cinnamon sugar topping, we start off with butter, brown sugar, and cinnamon. With all those ingredients, you throw them together into one pot and put them onto the stove to warm up on medium to high heat. Once all the ingredients are combined, it will be a nice caramely texture that will slide right off the spoon when you mix it. You'll want the mixture to come to a boil to fully combine all the ingredients. And once that is mixed together, you will take it off the heat and let it cool down for a little bit. Now, while the cookies are cooling and the brown sugar topping is cooling, we also can make the frosting. The frosting consists of course, cream cheese, butter, milk, and vanilla. As a nice touch to these cookies, the cream cheese frosting will complement all the other flavors really well. When making a frosting, you usually start off with the cream cheese, butter, milk, and vanilla all into one bowl and let it mix together. And once that is all mixed together, you will slowly start adding your powdered sugar 1 cup at a time to make sure it is all thoroughly mixed together. And once that is all mixed together, we are able to finally start and frost our cookies. My favorite way to frost a cookie is with a spoon. Use the back of the spoon instead of the front, and I like to take the spoon and dip it in the back and then just kind of smear all over the cookie until it is nice and evenly spread across. And for when I have more time, I like to add a little bit of cinnamon on top to add a little bit of flavor. And that is how you make the cinnamon crumble cookie. And now you may be thinking, wouldn't it just be cheaper to go into the store and actually buy a crumble cookie? But after doing all the calculations for the price, an average crumble cookie is $3.50. And to make a whole batch of the cookies, which is about a dozen or more cookies depending on the size you want of them, it can cost up to it could cost like 1 or 2 the price of a regular Crumbl cookie, which in the long run, it is better. You do feel better being able to enjoy more cookies that you made and the nice feeling of having a homemade cookie. Now, as we look back into the kitchen to get ready to clean it up, we're able to see how we made the dough, made the cinnamon sugar topping, made the frosting and frosted the cookies, and we're able to see how it is more beneficial to have homemade cookies rather than store-bought cookies.